everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in my last video, or in the description of my last video, which was the performance of my second original song, How the Monsters Get In, I said that I was going to be doing a lyrics analysis video. Now, I intended for that to be filmed and uploaded like the next day, and then I completely forgot about it, to be completely honest. So it's a little bit late, but sorry. Basically what I'm going to be doing in this video is taking you through the songwriting process for the song, how I kind of came up with the general idea, and some of the meanings behind some of the lyrics, both for me and other ways that you can interpret them. Oh, I've got a gap. There we go. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing, and if you think that that is something that you would be interested in, then just keep on watching. So this is only the second original song which I've written recently that's any good, to be honest. My first original song, which if you haven't seen it is titled Narcissism, Who Am I?, was for me more of a kind of almost melodic diary entry, in that kind of the components of what should have been a song were there, but it was a bit all over the place. This one I feel like is more of a song in terms of melody, in terms of structure. I like this one a lot better. I think I'm even prouder of this one than I am of the first one. I was sitting and I was actually worried that I wasn't going to be able to write any more songs, because I thought, oh god, I've written this one song that I like, what if I can't write any more? And I was sat and I was thinking of this phrase. I kept turning it over and over in my head, and that phrase is save your tears for the pillow. Don't show any weakness, and just save any crying, any vulnerability for when you get home. And it made me think of the kind of idea of people saying that if you're privileged, you don't get to cry. Like, I have been very lucky in my life. I've grown up in a nice house. My parents have always had enough money for things, so I've been quite privileged in my life. But does that mean that I never get to be sad about anything? Does that mean that I don't get to cry? Because there are people who aren't as well off as me. And that was something that I find really interesting. And that was kind of when the idea for the first two lines of the chorus came to me. So I just ran upstairs, did a voice memo, and started writing them down. And I in fact wrote up to the second chorus, technically, because the song opens on the chorus, in about the space of half an hour, 40 minutes, which I was quite proud of. Basically, the idea of the song is exploring weakness. It's exploring the idea of wanting to hide from people and wanting to hide your vulnerabilities, wanting to hide your insecurities. And this is actually a really personal song for me, especially the bridge of the song. I think that's what it's called. And that is basically derived from a feeling that I get in that I dress quite, I guess, ostentatiously. I like wearing skirts, dresses, heels, and I wear them pretty much all the time. So when I was at sixth form, I would kind of stand out from people who were wearing more, casual stuff like jeans and trainers and things like that. And also heels make noise, obviously, so when I'm walking down the hallways, you can pretty much hear me all the time. And I don't dress the way I dress to get attention. I dress that way just because I like it, but a side effect of it is the attention. And I want people to notice and to say I look nice and all that kind of thing. And I also want them to just not look up when I walk past and just let me be invisible in my little bubble. So that was kind of the feeling of what that little section of the song was about. It was pay attention when I want you to, basically. So it's kind of silly, but I feel like it's something that people would be able to relate to. The chorus of the song, which was the first thing that was written, is basically can be interpreted in a couple different ways, so I'm just going to go through them. The first way that you could interpret them is the more critical way. So, stop those tears running down your face, what do you have to cry about? Basically stop crying, stop being scared of everything, stop, obsessing about your figure, because you know that, you have the privilege, you don't get to cry over, silly material things, you don't have anything to be scared of, you don't live in a war-torn country, blah, 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 and you know that you have a good figure. So that was the more self-critical way, and that can be other people saying it to you, or that could be you saying it to yourself in that negative way. Because I know sometimes when I've had people who have cried or even had panic attacks, anxiety attacks around me, and they've been like, oh, I'm so sorry, you shouldn't have to deal with this. And you can tell that they kind of have that inner monologue of not thinking that they deserve to cry and to feel that way. And I think if you do it all the time, it's definitely a problem. But everyone has days when they just break down. And if you're crying over little things, it's almost always a sign of, something bigger and something that's just been building and building, or a culmination of things that have been building and building you up, that the smallest little thing can set you off. So that's one way that you can take it. The second way, which was actually more the way that I was feeling when I was actually performing the song, is kind of, I don't know how to explain this, uplifting in a way of, what if you really, really think about it, what is there in my life that I should cry? I have, obviously there's things that are weighing on me, but for the most part, I can fix them. So it's this feeling of, I don't have anything really massive that I should cry about. I don't have that much misfortune in my life that I should cry, that I should be really scared. I shouldn't be, obsessing over my body, because I know that I have a good figure. I know that I'm thin, basically. This brings me to the title lyric of the song, which is, whatever you do, keep your windows locked at night. That's how the monsters get in. And that's always what you say when you're a little girl or a little boy. Keep the windows, keep the wardrobe closed. That's how the monsters get in. If you close them, then they can't get to you and they can't hurt you. What I meant by that lyric is more, keep the windows closed, keep the doors closed, keep your eyes, ears, but your heart and your mind closed to that kind of negative impact. So if you're constantly only letting in all of the negative things and the fears and the doubts, that you're going to become a fearful, doubtful person, and you're going to be pessimistic, and you're not going to be happy, and you're just going to be walking around going, I'm sad, nothing in my life is right, I'm fat, I'm sad, there's nothing good that could ever come from my life. And you're going to be sad all the time. And basically what I wanted to say with the song is, keep your heart and your mind closed to negative influence and open to positive influence, because it's just an easier way to live. But if you let that positivity and those positive thoughts into your mind, and you keep the windows locked against the negativity from the outside world, you're going to be much more of a happy person, and none of the monsters are going to be able to hurt you as much. So that was really what I wanted to say with that. The rest of the song is basically me kind of exploring different ways that we hide. So like you hide through makeup, so there's the lyrics cover up with makeup and put on your painted face. That could be put on your face of kind of indifference, put on your face of pretending to be happy, put on a literal paint your face with makeup. The line scrawled hearts in coloured pen is basically representing kind of that naivety, because, you know, when you're little you scroll hearts whenever you fancy someone, but it could also be the idea of, you know, people hiding behind a pseudonym maybe when they're writing or publishing anonymous stories or something like that, so releasing something into the world and not letting anyone know it's from them. And there's one line that I really, really like, and it's only the rest of my life, how could that have any pressure? Oceans forming in my bedroom, jellyfish will be here soon. And the jellyfish line is basically, you know, if you're just letting all of the negativity fill you up and you're never trying to do anything to change the situation that you're in, you're going to end up with like-minded people. So people who just go with the tide and don't resist and don't try and change and just aimlessly kind of float along like jellyfish. So jellyfish are, for me, the spineless kind of people that you're going to fall in with if you just sit and you don't do anything to change the situation that you're in. And you just go along with what life gives you, whether it's good or bad, and you don't try for anything. So that's what I meant by the jellyfish line. I just thought I would explain that because I really liked the lyric when I wrote it down. The final kind of pseudo-chorus, just stop, just breathe, just lock the doors, the windows, is basically just, for me, it felt like the come down after you get really, really upset, you get like hysterical, or you have like a panic attack. And I remember one time when I was really, really upset and I cried for a really long time. Once we've done that, we're gonna move on and we're gonna find ways to stop this from happening again. So that was where that came from, was basically just, if you're in a situation that you're really, really struggling with, is just reminding you to sometimes pause, take a few deep breaths, analyse the situation and figure out how you're going to fix it. So that is it for my lyrics analysis video. If you haven't seen the song, you are likely very confused by now, so I recommend just going and watching it. And of course, subscribe to my channel for new singing videos every single week. And I do hopefully have a few collaborations coming up, so keep your eyes peeled for those, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!